Hey, greetings, Performance Reviews here, bringing you the review from the technician's point of view. And today I don't have a vacuum cleaner, which is usually what I do. I have here an air purifier made by IQAir out of Switzerland. And if you're not familiar with IQAir, they are a high-end manufacturer of air purifier. Now this is a GC unit, which means it has a HEPA filter plus a series of gas cartridges. I bought this unit because we have an open floor plan in my first floor of my house, which means the living room, the kitchen, and the dining room all share the same area, which means when we're cooking, oftentimes there's smoke and stuff in the air. The secondary reason we bought this is here in Colorado we have a pretty heavy allergy season. So generally in spring, having this running in our main room really makes a difference. One of the other things that's unique to this air purifier is the amount of space it does. Most air purifiers, even some in this price range, only do 200 to 400 square feet. This is rated for over 1,200 square feet. Being over 1,200 square feet means it does basically my living room and nothing more, or I can set it up to do the kitchen or this middle area. It does a really good job of that. Now this machine also works a little different, is it's sucking air up through a pre-filter into the gas cartridges, out a exhaust shroud, which I'll show you in a second. So the air is being circulated basically 360 degrees. It's being taken in 360 degrees. So what happens in the room is basically this motion. And what that does is allow this thing to circulate a lot more air. Also, it can move up to 300 CFM on its highest setting. And it's not too loud either. Even on its highest setting, you can still have this thing running and carry on a conversation. Typically, we run this on the number 4 setting, which is 170 cubic feet per minute, or we bump it up to 200. Usually, that's really all we leave it at. We rarely use it on its highest setting. And again, it's a very nice sound. It's not a really high-pitched sound like a lot of these things. Going on to controls, they give you a very basic remote, which will bring the setting all the way up to 6 if you need it to. Down or off, and you can set the timer. That's all you can do from the remote. There's an on and off button right here. We have a speed control here, multi-use button, menu, and enter. Now, if we want to see my remaining filter life, I've selected in the menu. Now I can go up and we can see my cartridge has 86 hours left on it, and I'm actually going to change that because it originally had like 4,000 hours on it or something crazy like that. So, give you an idea, kind of what's in the menu here. There's your timer. You can do this for days of the week. And you set the speed you want it to too, so that's kind of cool. You have it basically be automatic. Select a new filter. Airflow units and language. Just as far as the cord goes, they give you an 8-foot long cord approximately, which is a really long cord. Now it is a 2-prong cord. What's cool though is they use the universal power plug, which you may have seen before maybe on a computer or something. So what you can do is you can plug in one of these grounded power plugs and use it. So if you want to keep different plugs at different ends of your house, you notice it has wheels on it. Something we did till I got an air purifier in the bedroom is we would wheel it down the hall to the bedroom at night. And these wheels make it very easy to move. They also do lock in place, so that's nice as well. Another thing I'd like to add is there is a handle, you can pick it up. But carrying a machine that weighs this much with one hand, it's not something the average person's going to do, so most likely you're going to lift it like so. What the IQAir is its serviceability and how easy it is. So in order to get to the filters, basically these arms will move. Let me grab the one on the other side. And, whoops. Now the weight of this thing kind of pushes it down. But we have the lid. And then we see the GC goodness. This is what makes this model. This model are these cartridges, which are made in Switzerland, which contains active carbon and probably a few other things. And these are, I'm going to take this off if I can. All right. These are basically similar to like a vacuum bag or something like that. And what these do is catch any carbon dust that those emit. And you're supposed to change these as well. And here is our carbon canister. And I have a new set in my box back there. I've had this unit for 3 years now, and it's time to change these. And there's another filter that we change about once a year, and I'll show you that in a second. So those are the cartridges. They come out like that. Like so. So easy to get to. Now, something I noticed is you see these slots on here. If for some reason you decide you didn't want those gas cartridges or you didn't need that anymore, you could actually get from the next model down the other style of filter and put it in here. So modularity is really cool about this, and you know it's Swiss, so I kind of expect nothing else. So as we go down, a good time to demonstrate the sound deadening this machine has, give you an idea how much air it's really moving. And standing here, it's really moving a lot of air. So that gives you an idea on that. Now as we go down, pop up these, and we got our Premax filter, goes right here. And this is the filter I end up changing about once a year. And you know, the price varies on these. Sometimes you can find an open box on eBay. Sometimes IQAir will send you one of these free after purchase. I don't know if they're still doing that, but they were doing that at the time I bought mine. So I got the first one for free, and they've been about $60 to $70 a year when I've bought them, though I have seen them as high as 80 and some change. So keep in mind the prices seem to fluctuate on this filter, at least when you look at Amazon. Now, the cool thing about IQAir is if you go in-store to a dealer, the price will be the same. They'll have it. IQAir sets the price, which kind of leads me to another point, is if you decide to get one of these, look up your local dealer. They'll probably have it in stock. You can get it that day, and you don't have to pay shipping because this thing is pretty big and heavy. So this filter's A-OK. We're going to put it back. I recently changed it about 2 months ago, I want to say. And it doesn't matter really which way you put these cubes back, as long as they just line up. So let's go put that back together. Now in this box, I really like to give a nice instruction set in this box explaining how to do that, what's in this. And it's double boxed. And here is, the bag is not a toy, new filters. So I'm going to put these in. I thought it was, oh, you can see some of the granulated stuff on camera. I thought it would be nice to do this on camera and show you kind of what I've gone through, and you know, having to replace these, because these aren't inexpensive. Not by the least bit, but like I said, having the best filtration to me is worth it, and having a machine that does what this does, you know, it's hard for me to put a price on that, because this has just been such a useful addition to our house. This is one of the first appliance type things we bought, and I've recommended it to several friends. So, and I'm now recommending it to you on YouTube. All right, I forgot to put the sleeves on when I put those back in. You replace these sleeves separately, so I did that off camera. Now these cartridges aren't unlike like an NBC cartridge or something like that for a gas mask. That's what I'm holding, if you're not familiar with a NATO gas mask cartridge. And people say these cartridges are kind of expensive. They're about on point if you look at them. Like I said, in comparison to size. If you were to buy at least the volume, these things are about 3 or 4 of these high. If you were to add all that up, it's about the same. So I think they're just charging you really the raw material price for what's inside these cartridges. Now let's put the lid back on. Again, this one is empty because the cartridges go all the way up. And this lid can go on either way. And then everything just kind of snaps back. And now here's the thing that threw me off at first, and then I've seen online has thrown a lot of people off, which is the sound of this when you first turn it on, whether it's new or you've replaced the cartridges. So listen. Now what you're listening to is the sound of all the carbon and other stuff that's in those cartridges, which are a pellet, or granules, settle. So when you first turn this on, when you first replace the cartridge for, I'd say almost a month, every time you turn this on, you're going to hear that stuff settle. And after a while, it stops, so it becomes a non-issue. But that's just something to note, a little quirk of the machine. We're in my garage, which is ventilated to the outside for this experiment. I hate to call this an experiment because this really has no scientific basis on it. If you really want to test this thing, you would use a particle counter. Unfortunately, I don't have access to one right now. I do have a video in 1080p of me particle counting one of these, so I know it does blow a 0, but again, I just don't happen to have that to show you for the review. So we're going to turn the IQAir on, and we're going to hit the smoke machine. And you can see that cleared the smoke really, really fast. We don't even have it on its highest setting. Or I have it on 5, I don't have it on 6. Let's try it on its highest setting. Again, it's clearing that smoke really well. Now let's put it on the setting I usually have it on. Give you an idea. Now what's interesting about the smoke machine is it doesn't actually stop. Once I'm done hitting the button, it just keeps on rolling. So anyways, you can see it's filtering out the smoke. It's pretty clear in here for all things considered. So if you have gases or smoke, this will definitely do that. And again, this is the best way I have to illustrate this. This is not a scientific test or intended to cure anything, but just a demonstration. If you'd like to help us get a particle counter, I'll put a link to Patreon here for you as well. Now, I usually do like a in the shop or service video on these. I've only ever seen 2 of these come in for repair the whole 16 years I was in the industry, and one of them was like yellow and had animal matter on it, and the other one was just like a dud, and they replaced it for the customer. So I can say the customer service is what you expect from a company like this, but the repair rate, like I said, it's a next to 0 compared to almost anything else I've sold. So I'm really confident in the quality of this machine, and the fact that everything is made in Switzerland still is that's just mind-blowing to get that kind of quality. So I hope this helped you decide whether the IQAir GC series was right for your house or not. Please give this video a thumbs up. Comment below. I'd love to hear whether you've purchased one or your experiences. And if you're not subscribed, hit that subscribe button. I do videos twice a week. Have yourself a wonderful day.